Welcome to the Endo Chef podcast. Today we're reading Reddit. We're doing some family drama. With me is my wife Laura here.
I am so excited. I don't even know I don't know where to look. Okay. I am so excited. Let's do this.
Am I the asshole for calling out my mother-in-law's lie and causing drama at a family dinner? Mother-in-law was not at our wedding because she got called into work. I was a bit surprised because she knew the date for 9 months ahead of time, and surely she could have put in for time off and not to be on call that day.
This is her wedding day?
Family dinner.
Oh, the family dinner.
So
Okay.
mother-in-law wasn't at the wedding.
She wasn't at the wedding. Okay.
For various
And this
reasons.
Okay.
So she's a cardiac surgeon. So that's already going to be like, you get called,
People
you
could
got
die.
to go, right?
People could die.
And I don't know exactly how her job works, but no one is on call 365 days a year. When her mom questioned her the day of, mother-in-law's excuse was that she's never not on call, and that doesn't make any sense. She goes on like 2 vacations a year. She does stuff a couple hours away on her days off. How is she always on call?
True.
So it's
I mean, obviously there's some fakeness to that,
yeah,
but I would say
for the most part, like someone's gonna die, you got to go.
if there aren't enough cardiologists in the area, or one isn't available on your day off and you're the closest, they probably call you anyways. Even if you're
Yeah.
2 hours away, they'll probably call you anyways and say, look, this other cardiologist is sick today. Like, we need you. And then they kind of have to turn around and go, like,
Yeah,
because cardiologists are not, there's not a lot,
there's like 5 in a city.
yeah, there's not a lot of, especially specific, like, you know, surgeons and stuff like that. Like, not just like, you know, working in the offices
Yeah.
and things.
But we're not done. We got to keep reading.
Okay.
How is she always on call? I didn't say anything at the time because it was such a weird situation. We had a family dinner recently, and someone mentioned not seeing mother-in-law at the wedding. Mother-in-law said she got called into work, and the person was like, on your son's wedding. That's awful. Mother-in-law only shrugged and said she knew what her job was, and she signed up for it. So missing the son's wedding, that's so great.
Yeah, that is like the one thing you can be like 100% I am not available. Like, because yes, people may die, but you also have to live your life.
You have your own family
Yeah.
to take care of.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes later, mother-in-law's husband said they were going camping over the weekend. Oh, so she's not always on call.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Someone asked where, and the place was like a 2-hour drive. So I asked how they were going camping 2 hours away if she's on call every single day of her life. Mother-in-law literally told me to shut up.
Oh my god.
Even mother-in-law's dad questioned it. And mother-in-law got dramatic and was like, fine, next time I'll tell the person to just die.
Like I said.
Her husband told me I was rude and shouldn't ask questions that I might not want the answers to. And then she stormed into the other room. She texted me the other day about why do I like embarrassing her in front of people and why I want her parents to hate her.
So
We got a bit of a dramatic
narcissistic
person here.
A little bit, you know.
Center of the universe.
Everything's around me. Like, not that she isn't an important person. Clearly she's doing important work, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you're not a narcissist or like an egotistical person.
And some surgeons get a bit of a god complex because
Definitely.
they literally hold people's lives in their hands.
Yeah, definitely. And like, again, like, all the respect to her anyways for doing what she does.
And like
but-
a golf weekend could mean like 5 people will die because you're going golfing.
yeah. But like, saving lives, awesome. Being a jerk, not so awesome.
So let's read some of the comments.
Okay.
We have
Well, wait, before that, what do you think? Do you think that she's the asshole?
the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you don't
Like-
think her calling her out was
I think people have to be called out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get resentment for years with family. And it always goes back to, remember if 10 years ago, so-and-so did this, and it sticks with you, and like siblings will fight for decades over who took the last piece of fried chicken or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I kind of agree. Like, calling people out for on their BS, like if it's big BS like that, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone's just gonna be angry for your whole relationship.
Mr. Hamman 80 says, not the asshole. Even if you have an ulterior motive, it was a legit and potentially innocent question to ask. The fact that mother-in-law's husband said, shouldn't ask questions that you might not want the answer to, is pretty telling that there's bigger fish in this pond of stories.
Yeah.
So he's just used to disappointment constantly.
Yeah. He's used to her BS.
And then let's see, who else is here? We have...
Think about how many times she's canceled on him.
Eduardo-kun, so I guess his name's Edward, but being Japanese, not the asshole, and only excuse mother-in-law would have is if she was the only cardiac surgeon available that day and it was life or death matter.
Yeah.
I would even settle for she is the best cardiac surgeon at the moment for life-threatening surgery. However, it's clear that she can take uninterrupted time off and could have done that for your wedding.
Yeah. That's like the biggest no-no. Like if she missed the wedding because of work, because she just didn't get that time off or had another cardiologist come into the area for her, like that's so bad.
And like
that's
even,
your son's
even
wedding.
with like staff shortage and stuff, like, you're gonna know your son's getting married a year in advance, maybe more. And you can just put a call out, I'm not available that one day. Like someone can fill in.
Yeah, it's the wedding, or it's a funeral, or it's something that's very important to my personal life. Like, we all get that.
And going through the comments, it doesn't look like anyone thinks otherwise. It seems everyone agrees you are not the asshole. That drama was warranted.
Yeah. And like that commenter said, like, it could have been a legitimate question, like, that you literally just, like, it just came out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been innocent. I don't think it was innocent. I think it was a little bit pointed. Because she's, it was a bit of an eye roll. But it could have just as simply have been, like, a little question. And,
Yeah.
For the husband to be like, oh,
Like, he knows what's coming.
Yeah. I can just imagine that she doesn't treat him very well either.
So we're going to move on, but first I have to screenshot this so we can reference it later and put screenshots in the video.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to read the next one?
I can try. I can attempt to read it. Yeah.
So the next one is, am I the asshole for ruining, quotation marks, air quotes, Thanksgiving dinner for causing drama because I humiliated my sister?
Potentially.
This is from 1 year ago. It's not too long.
I'm 17. My sister Cassie, 22 female, is one of those people who is a bully to everyone and justifies it by saying, I'm just keeping it real. She clearly knows it's wrong, by the way, because she only does it to family when nobody who could affect her school or professional reputation is watching. It's obvious no one in the family likes Cassie's bad attitude. Usually no one says anything because then Cassie gets overly defensive and turns it into a huge fight with yelling, and my family doesn't want to deal with all of that drama during a get-together. My family actually celebrated Thanksgiving last week at my grandparents' house since we're all going to be in different places on the actual day. During dinner, Cassie looked over at my cousin, Molly, 15 female, at her shoulder and saw that she was reading a webcomic. Then, Cassie started talking about how the webcomic is overrated, calling Molly basic, and making fun of her reading that.
Sounds like a pick-me.
So mean. She's just a baby. I was especially irritated because I really like hanging out with Molly, but she and her parents are rarely willing to visit in person because Cassie's always causing issues like this. That's really bad. I told Cassie that Molly's allowed to like what she likes, and there's no reason to be rude when Molly wasn't bothering anyone. Cassie made an excuse like, well, I'm just being honest, and I told her that she doesn't have the excuse of just being honest because no one actually asked her opinion in the first place. Cassie got angry and started going off on how you may be too dumb to know, but she has free speech and doesn't need permission to speak, which was literally not my point at all. Okay.
That's the end?
Nope. Keeps going.
What was the age gap again? 17 and 22 or something?
She says, I'm 17 female and Cassie is 22 female. And Molly is 15.
And Molly and Cassie are sisters.
They're cousins. Cassie and... It says I'm, so it doesn't really say her name.
Okay.
But Cassie is her sister and Molly's her cousin. So it says, my mom asked me and Cassie to just drop it, but Cassie kept trying to get the last word in. I got fed up and snapped at Cassie. I told her she bullies everyone and no one says anything because they don't want to put up with the drama. But I'm sick and tired of her being a jerk to everyone, which was all something I've wanted to tell Cassie for a really long time. Cue the yelling and the waterworks from Cassie. She went on and on and on about how no one ever lets me talk. No one listens to her opinion. Blah, blah, blah. She tried using guilt to get people on her side and And the whole night was tense after. When we got home later, my mom told me that I humiliated Cassie. And that
Good.
Yeah, good. Good. She needs that. She needs to get off her high horse. That I was in the wrong. She said that she knows Cassie's frustrating, but I know that's just how my sister is, and I'm supposed to ignore her. And I gave everyone a headache by provoking her and causing the drama of her crying and yelling during Thanksgiving. Whose fault is that? It's her, not everyone else's. It's been a week and Cassie is still in a bad mood from it. I thought what I did was justified, but it seems like Molly is the only person in my family who thinks that I did the right thing. How? I realized that wasn't the most civil route, but I feel Cassie brought it on by bullying in the first place. So I'm asking Reddit, am I the asshole? Hell no!
Absolutely not.
Hell no! Absolutely not.
Yeah, we'd have to send this to the court of Judge Charlotte.
You are 22 years old and you're bullying a 15-year-old for reading a comic that she likes? Girl,
Yeah,
grow up.
this is too much, because it's like you get away with disrupting everyone's meals. I'm sure this goes to like birthdays, Christmas, everything else too, where it turns into just me. Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like if she's doing it on Thanksgiving, and she said that it's like every time they get together. And how is her sister the only one willing to call her out for her BS? Like, yes, there might be drama, but like if you do it enough times, you do it like 3 or 4 times, and the whole family backs you up on it, she's not going to do that crap anymore.
I think it happens because people want to keep up appearances. It's like, it's Thanksgiving, we're all thankful, we're a good family.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like...
And no one wants to be the one to stir the pot and be like, hey, being an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, she could have taken Cassie aside and said, you know, hey, like you just straight up bullied our cousin and that's not okay. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of you doing that during our whatever, in the corner or like away from everyone. Yeah. And if she gets mad at you, fine. But then she'll probably keep up appearances with everyone else because they wouldn't have known that they had an argument.
I'm a believer in the big impact. It's like,
I know.
It's kind of like the old thing of like, when you're the new guy in prison, you gotta like punch out the biggest, meanest guy there so everyone respects you.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
I would just try to melt into the wall.
And you're not going to punch out your family, obviously. But like...
some drama.
Sometimes.
Some families.
You have to call people out, otherwise no one else will. And the behavior will never stop, and it just keeps going forever. So let's get some of the comments here.
Yeah. Can you read the comments for me?
Ditto Head Forever says, not the asshole. Doing a little quote thing. She says she knows Cassie's frustrating, but I know that's just how my sister is, and I'm supposed to ignore her. And then Ditto Head's comment is, yeah, okay, so tell your mom reacting this way is just how I am, and Cassie can ignore it. That seems fair to me.
Snap.
Ooh.
Snap. That's true, though. Because obviously she's getting, like, different treatment.
It's like a double standard for bad behavior. It happens in a lot of families.
I would never, like, I've got kids. I would never stand for that. Like, I would never. I would be so embarrassed if my kid bullied someone else. Yeah. Like, especially at 22 years old. Come on.
So we have Mindless Locksmith 76. Sorry, first line, your family sucks. They weren't keeping the peace. They were buying it from a miserable and abusive gutter snipe and using your cousin's dignity as the coin. Never trust someone willing to sacrifice another's dignity for their peace. You are a star for defending your cousin.
Whoop. I agree.
And then we have...
Especially at 17. You're a boss ass.
Yeah. Low Balance 4404 says, not the asshole. Cassie brought that all on herself. Next time she bullies Molly or someone else, please remind her, you didn't like it on Thanksgiving, did you?
Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't stir up anything either.
Let's see. I don't think anyone disagrees on this one. I think it's unanimous.
It's gotta be. I mean, like, how that kind of behavior is just so, like, she's acting like a 3-year-old.
We got
how embarrassing for her.
Don TH or Donth 101. Not the asshole, keep calling her out. Tell any family members who complain that you aren't going to stop until Cassie's behavior is dealt with.
Dun dun dun. But yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, just keep calling her out and get all the family members to back you up, and then like after like the third or fourth time, she's just going to be embarrassed.
And in a lot of families, they'll be like, "Why are you starting something?" It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not starting something. They're the one causing the problem.
They're the one misbehaving. Like,
Yeah.
why is no one saying anything?
And that happens in a lot of families where the one that's trying to like do the right thing ends up being the one that's called out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one that can see the overall image of the whole family unit is like, oh, that one's the one that does it. And yeah.
So verdict?
Asshole and child. Like, grow up.
No, Cassie's an asshole.
Yeah.
But
sir.
original poster, not the asshole.
Original poster, definitely not the asshole. In fact, boss ass bitch.
Okay, we're going to screenshot this one as well.
That's my stamp. Boss ass bitch.
We have a couple selections here. We have rehearsal dinner drama. I love me some wedding drama.
Yeah.
We're wedding videographers as well, so
Yeah.
we know the tea.
Charlotte
Dobre. Subscribe to her. She is the queen. We're all her little potatoes.
Yeah.
We
And
move in the darkness.
she does all, like, the wedding ones are my favorite because they're unbelievable stories. But anyways,
They're so bad that like some of them have to be fake. Like,
maybe, but
but if it's unbelievable, it must be true.
yeah.
I'll go through a couple titles here. We have "Am I the Asshole for Eating at My Boyfriend's Family's Christmas Dinner?"
Eating? For eating at it?
Yeah, so we're going to his Christmas, maybe instead of her family.
Oh, okay.
And then we have another thing, "Am I the Angel for assuming my daughter could have a third plate?" That doesn't sound too dramatic. Not enough tea.
I'm curious though, like what?
Oh, am I the asshole for storming out of my in-laws' family dinner?
That sounds good.
That sounds juicy. Am I the asshole for storming out of my in-laws at a family dinner? My husband, 40, and I, 35 female, went to my in-laws for a large family gathering, and all was well. In 12 years of marriage, I've always been polite to his family, though we find these gatherings stressful. Both of us are quiet ones in our family, and often we feel forced to concede to louder personalities, which is a point of contention.
I don't know what a loud personality would be like. No idea what that would be like.
After 4 hours, we decided it was time to go. Dessert had not been served yet. We were willing to skip it in favor of getting some downtime before bed.
Yeah.
General etiquette thing, you can leave a dinner party 30 minutes after dessert is served. Back to the story.
Oh.
We went to the kitchen to let my sister-in-law, 42 female, the host, know we would be leaving. Then she physically cornered my husband and pointed her finger at him and said, "No way, you're staying for dessert." To which he replied, "No, it's okay, we don't want any." This went back and forth, escalating to my sister-in-law actually pushing my husband in a sort of rough-housing way. She seemed to think it was a joke because she was laughing the whole time. My husband was laughing too, but I recognized it was an uncomfortable laughter someone does when they don't know how to react. So awkward. Mm-hmm. In the end, I stepped in and tried to say, "No, but really, we're going to get going." And my sister-in-law then turned to me, jokingly, said, "If you don't eat this dessert, I'm going to throw it at your car when you leave." I don't know. Do you think she's going to do it?
Better not.
And then, for whatever reason, that triggered some instantaneous rage I've never felt before. Oh, it was getting good. I literally got blurred vision. I ended up grabbing the dessert from her hand, slammed it on the counter, and stormed out of the house while yelling at my husband to follow me. On the drive home, my husband admitted he felt like he was being pushed to make a decision he didn't want to. He also understood my anger, but said it was a little scary to witness, and pretty much everyone in the house noticed my reaction. That was pretty wild.
That is a little bit
Maybe
crazy,
a little
but
much.
this must be like years that built up.
Building up. That night, my sister-in-law texted that my behavior was rude, and I was being ungrateful to her hard work hosting an offer of food/dessert. I apologized for how I reacted, as I was not proud of it after the fact, and explained it. It was not about the dessert itself, but the greater issue of having my boundaries pushed. It's never about the dessert.
Yeah.
I added that I got extremely defensive of my husband because I didn't like seeing him shutting down like that in conflict. The last part was that my sister-in-law seemed to fixate on. She told me I shouldn't be my husband's babysitter and he can fight his own battles. Ooh. She then proceeded to enter a texting war with both me and my husband. She told me I have mental problems. If I'm going to freak out that much about a dessert I don't want to eat, again, not about the dessert, and that I have no respect for the family and act like I never want to be there. To my husband, she basically called him a child for not being able to tell her how he feels in the moment, but this anger is a typical reaction for her. So why would he? It all escalated to the point where my sister-in-law now wants zero contact with us and has blocked us on everything and told the rest of the family that she doesn't want us in her life. Am I the asshole? Edit. Extra fact here. I slammed the dessert on the counter face up. No dessert got destroyed. I did not smash the dessert.
Okay,
So it's
that's
more
big
like a
difference.
dramatic bowl placement.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Because if you're making a mess out of someone who, like, someone can't eat that after, like...
Yeah. So this sounds like the sister-in-law is always a pain in the ass all the time. It's been happening for years, and it just finally came to a head because her blurred vision and internal rage, that doesn't come out of nowhere from just
No.
like being told to eat dessert.
No. Unless you do have a mental problem, but she probably does not.
Yeah.
It just sounds like they're, like she said, they're quiet people. And I know what that's like when you go to a really, really loud, like, even though I'm a loud person, if I go to a loud place for too long, like, I gotta get out of there.
It's overwhelming.
Like, all of a sudden, I will just switch, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I actually
Yeah.
bring earphones. I have those loop earphones, or whatever you call it, earplugs, to kind of, like, calm the noise in, certain situations like that. That helps, but, like, if you're like that and you need to get out of there, you just need to get out of there. Like, so I get that.
Yeah.
They should know that about them. But, like, his sister should know that about him.
It could just be like the sister-in-law has never liked her from the beginning.
Yeah. True.
And it seems like maybe the husband doesn't stick up for her when things go sour or like snide remarks behind the back or whatever.
Well, if he froze in just such a simple situation, then he probably freezes if there's any snide remarks toward her, too.
Yeah.
Which is, like, the worst. You've got to stick up for your partner.
Let's get into the comments.
All right.
Ninja Star Kid says, not the asshole. The action might have been a bit extreme, but the throw it at your car thing was bizarre. That is weird,
Yeah,
right?
that is a weird
That is super
statement.
weird.
Like, that's not funny.
If he's showing discomfort, you're allowed to back him up. It's not like he didn't say no. He said no and the sister wasn't listening. You weren't being ungrateful. You had to leave, and it's none of her business as to why. She can't just hold you hostage until she's done with you. If she really wanted to serve the dessert, she should have served it sooner. Yeah.
True.
She seems like she wanted a reaction out of you either way. Like if you hadn't left, sure this wouldn't have happened. But if your husband stood up for himself, she would have made an argument anyways.
As an alternative to smashing the thing down on the floor, why, like, yes, she's a quiet person, but she could have just said, I have diarrhea. We have to go.
If you play the diarrhea card, you're out of there.
Or, like, I think I have a fever. We have to go. Like, you can say something like
So it's
that.
not a white lie, it's a brown lie.
It's a brown lie, yeah. Yeah. I need my own bathroom, guys. I'm about to just...
Yeah, you need
paint
the home
walls.
bowl.
Right? Your cooking gave me diarrhea. I have to leave. I don't know, is that worse than smashing down your plate?
I don't know. Well, it's family, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's like business contact, right?
But the thing is, who's going to argue with that?
Yeah.
She's not going to be like, well, you have diarrhea. Well, poop your pants then. Like,
Yeah.
who's going to say that? They're just going to say, okay, go then.
Eat this
Sorry.
heavy cream dessert.
Hope you feel better, That's your way out. It's your way out.
So we have another comment here. Insomnia and coffee. They say, it's possible your sister-in-law has some long-time pressure accumulated. It's possible your husband's family feels you are not comfortable at family gatherings. You might think you are asking your husband to leave earlier. Do you guys leave earlier often? Do you act as if you're there out of obligation only? Because sometimes it's like, okay, here's a family dinner. It's like, okay, we have to go because otherwise it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
So we got to make our appearance.
Yeah, if they leave early all the time and they're off in the corner every time, even though they are sensitive to, like, the louder and larger people, personalities, if you never make an effort to, like, engage in, like, conversation and stuff, then yeah, you could definitely, that would be a bone of contention for the sister, and, like, that could be why she pushed so hard.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, if they were engaging all throughout the last, like, the 3 or 4 hours they'd been there already, then, like, just let them go.
And we have a response from the original poster,
Okay.
who is Pancake Queen 13. You love the names. So she says, admittedly, yes, it's probably noticeable we are tense at these dinners. I don't think anyone can really hide it when they feel obligated to attend these things. We still try our best to be polite and engage in conversation and don't just sit around looking grumpy. But I'm sure they notice we are less enthusiastic than the rest of the family. We do often leave early. Oh, kind of. So it's kind of a sticky thing on both sides. It can build up. They're like, how come they always leave early?
Yeah.
But I don't think unreasonably early. To me, 4 hours is a decent amount of time to put into an event. In this particular event, dinner was served after about 2 hours of visiting. Then we stuck around for an additional 2 hours. Do we leave earlier than the rest of the family, who sticks around until 11 most of the time? Yes, but an 8 p.m. departure time doesn't seem like something the average person should be mad about, in my opinion.
At that night, yes, that was fine. It's fine to leave
Yeah,
then.
you're 4 hours deep into a family dinner.
I think that was totally fine. However, if it was like she said, every time they're uncomfortable, they're like, when can I get out of here? That can, especially with a louder personality, that can really build up inside of your.
Because you could also get things like people talk about uncomfortable politics and things like that. And you're just like,
there's so many things that we don't know about right now. Like, they could be quiet and also have like completely different views as well from their family too. So.
Yeah, it's like whether you support Sleepy Joe or the orange one, like families are gonna fight.
Cheetos or Sleepy Guy.
Yeah, but that's a separate issue. We're not getting into that.
Yeah, we're Canadian anyways.
Oh, we have three that disagree. Upbeat Vanilla 7285 says, "You are the asshole. We can't control things around us, but we can control our actions or reactions. With that being said, yours was out of line. It was light banter that happens during family get-togethers. You could just politely put the dessert down and say, 'Nope, we need to leave.' Your reaction was way out of line, and you're dooming this relationship with family if that's how you're going to act." And then we have another one here, Grows on Walls. "You're the asshole. Your response was completely not proportional to the situation. You can nicely make your points rather than grab a dessert and smash it against the counter. But don't worry about stressful dinners with in-laws anymore. You won't be invited back again."
Yeah. We didn't touch on the reaction of the sister-in-law after the text fight. Completely blocking her brother out from her life and not wanting to ever see him. If it was really like just this instant that did that, or whether it was like many years.
Sometimes siblings get weird. Like, it's like, this is my little brother. You took him away from me. I don't get to see him anymore because he's always with you. Like a jealousy thing. Mm-hmm. And for her to go like nuclear with cut off.
I think that's like the worst. That's so sad. Like when you just can't work through it and you like cut someone off because it's like not good for your, like whatever. I don't know. I feel that there's definitely two sides to this story. Like there's some stories that are just like obvious, right?
There's some missing details here.
But yeah, they're like I think in this instance, you need the dynamic from like the beginning.
Let's get one more comment that disagrees. Okay. This is Particular Train 8235. "You are the asshole. You completely overreacted. She was hosting. You left in the middle of dinner." No, dinner was completed, which is very rude. It sounds like it's not the first time either. She was confronting your brother over this rude-ass behavior, and you went ballistic. So this is a sticky one because there's pent-up aggression on both sides.
Definitely.
I think I might call this one mildly the asshole towards neutral problems on both sides.
Yeah, there needs to be some
there's no
sit
clear
down
winner,
and talk about this,
and
like
there's
one-on-one.
There's missing information here. We need like the backstory with everything.
Yeah, this is hard. But I think it's like you're not an asshole, you're a jerk. Right? For like you should not have reacted that way. She just cooked you dinner and she probably spent all freaking day doing it. And the least you can do is stay till like I'm thinking of as the host, like the least you can do is just stay until the dessert that I also cooked.
Yeah. But if dessert's served like an hour or 2 hours after dinner, then it's like, okay, I want to get out of here.
That's the thing when I'm serving dinner like that, I have a big dinner party, I always serve dessert pretty close to the dinner because I want people to be able to leave if they want to. Or then I offer tea and coffee and stuff after so that they can stay if they want to. So like it gives that out. And
it's kind of like an intermission at a theater. You get your little like pee break and get a drink.
Yeah.
And then come back for dessert, but it's like 10, 15 minutes in between.
But I would never, like, even if it happened all the time, I would never cut someone off, especially in my family, because they want to leave early or whatever. Especially if they are, like, because you grew up with them, that they're sensitive to sound, or they're just, like, introverted as all get out, right? Like, that about them. So
As all get out.
As all get out. I don't know.
It's like a cross-generational thing.
Did I just age myself?
Yeah, we read a book to our kids, The Pokey Little Puppy. It's one of those golden books. Then they says, "Oh, he's mad as all get out." And that book is like from like the 40s.
Well, I'm not from the 40s, okay?
In the 40s, but not from the 40s.
Okay, comment down below. Do you use as all get out, or if you've ever heard that in a conversation?
I don't know. I think you're ancient if you use all get out.
Thanks, babe.
I am older, but sounds more ancient.
Thanks.
So that was 3 stories, eh?
That was 3.
That was 3 Reddit stories on family drama around dinners. Next time, we might do a bit of wedding stuff. Yeah. We might talk about maybe some celebrity chef drama. That could be juicy. But for now, that's it for the Inno Chef podcast. And we'll see you in the next video.
What a mess. Bye.